Hello! Welcome to the ALLS YouTube channel. For this episode, we will feature a talk given by Dr. Didith Rodrigo, a professor at the Department of Information Systems and Computer Science of the Ateneo de Manila University. Dr. Rodrigo is also the head of the Ateneo Laboratory for the Learning Sciences, or ALLS, and the project leader for the Department of Science and Technology funded project entitled Nurturing Interest in STEM Among Filipino Learners Using Minecraft. Her talk was given at the Society for Technology in Education Philippines Virtual Educators Conference held last July 8 to 10, 2021. For the said conference, Dr. Rodrigo shares about the DOST-funded project, which is a collaboration of ALLS with the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, or UIUC. UIUC developed a Minecraft server called What If Hypothetical Implementations in Minecraft, or Whimsy, which was intended to help cultivate the learner's interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. She shares as well how the ALLS team is working with educators from basic education schools in the Philippines to prepare lesson plans to integrate Whimsy in classroom instruction, and plans of increasing the accessibility of the Whimsy server through Minecraft Education Edition. To learn more about the project, please continue watching.
Hello, my name is Didith Rodrigo. I am a professor at the Department of Information Systems and Computer Science of the Ateneo de Manila University. I am head of the Ateneo Laboratory for the Learning Sciences, and I am the project lead of the DOST-funded project entitled Nurturing Interest in STEM Among Filipino Learners Using Minecraft. I'm here today to talk to you about our project, and I have to begin by talking about Minecraft first. For those of you who are not already familiar, Minecraft is a video game. It is sometimes characterized as a sandbox game because it doesn't really have a concept of winning. It has a concept of survival because in one mode, you have to protect yourself against zombies. However, there are no points. Instead, what Minecraft does is it immerses you in a 3D world where you can explore, you can create, and you can collaborate. You can play Minecraft by yourself or you can play with others. And because of this capacity to support collaboration, many communities have emerged to build their own virtual worlds. There is, for example, a Minecraft that mimics the Ateneo campus, and that was built by a community within Ateneo. Minecraft is the second best-selling game of all time. There are about 112 million players on the Minecraft servers monthly. It has been used to teach many different domains of science, from engineering to biology and physics. It has been shown to increase engagement and interest in science among middle school children. And it supports creative thinking by posing open-ended questions and opening up collaborative gameplay. Now let's talk about the project. What we are trying to do is to use Minecraft to cultivate interest in STEM. We do this by leveraging on a project from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign called What If Hypothetical Implementations in Minecraft, or Whimsy in short. The Whimsy worlds have the UIUC team has created these different versions of Earth in Minecraft, and essentially they create scenarios where, for example, what would happen if the Earth had no moon, or what if the sun were slightly colder. Clearly, these changes would have profound impacts on life on Earth. And what Whimsy challenges players to do is to explore what life would be like, make observations about how Earth would be different, and perhaps build habitats that would enable human beings to survive. The Whimsy worlds have already been used in the US for various summer programs and workshops. And as you can imagine, the ways in which the Whimsy worlds have been used are customized for a US audience and a US curriculum. But there's really nothing about the content that cannot be used in other countries and by other cultures. And this is where our project comes in. We are establishing our own Whimsy server. So essentially, we are making a mirror of the Whimsy server in UIUC. And we are intending our server for Filipino teachers and students to use. So we are currently working with teachers here to create lesson plans that integrate the Whimsy worlds into their classes. The Whimsy server has built-in data collection, which means that the actions of the students and the teachers are logged so that we can later take these logs and analyze them in order to arrive at insights regarding student behavior and student affect. There are many people involved in this project, and I just wanted to name a few. So aside from myself, we have Dr. Chad Lane from UIUC and Dr. Jeff Ginger, also from UIUC. Chad and Jeff are the project leads of Whimsy US. In the Philippines, my team here is composed of Dominique Manahan, who is our project manager. We have Nathan Casano, who is going to be focusing on our data analytics. And then we have Neil Bautista, who is our server administrator. He's the one who's actually doing the mirroring of the Whimsy server and our server. And finally, we have Rose Majos, who is our administrative assistant. She's the one who handles all our personal paperwork, our accounting paperwork, and other important support functions like that. Now, I've mentioned Whimsy over and over. Let's go into Whimsy in greater detail. I already said that what our UIUC collaborators did was they built alternative versions of Earth. And you start off, in order to get to these alternative versions of Earth, you start off at the rocket launch facilities. You can think of yourself as being in NASA. You go to a rocket, you get launched into space and to the moon. In the moon, you go through several quests in the moon base, and then you can visit, after you've completed all the quests on the moon base, you can visit the different versions of Earth and the different exoplanets that the Whimsy creators have made. The main topics which the Whimsy worlds are based on is really centers on astronomy. It specifically showcases Earth's place in the universe, planetary bodies, the Earth systems. As you journey through the Whimsy worlds, there are some general performance standards that are built in the experience. We want students to be able to note their observations. What is it that they see that is different from what they would normally see here on Earth? We want them to be able to infer cause and effect. Why is it that the Earth or the plant life is a certain way? What is it about the changes, in the way Earth is configured that leads now to changes into the way life evolves? We also want students to be able to take actions based on the facts that are available to them. The Whimsy worlds are designed so that the learner will be able to explore the world freely, get to know STEM professionals within these worlds, and then imagine possibilities of situations and communicate them to others. Towards the end of their journey, learners will be given an opportunity to build and create, and in so doing, practice maybe what they know about science and technology. I mentioned before that Whimsy is instrumented for data collection. Whenever a student, whatever the student does in Whimsy, whatever actions he or she takes, we record all of that, and we later download it, we look at it, and we try to find out how the students were using the system. Are there any indications that they were engaged? Are there any indications that they were bored? Eventually, what we would like to be able to do is compare the logs from our students here with the logs that were taken from students in the US to try to see what the differences and similarities are between students in these different cultures. Now let's do a brief walkthrough of the game. I'm going to play a short video, and I'll try to talk you through what's happening. Okay, I can't seem to play the video. So let's save that maybe for the presentation. So moving on. I also mentioned in the beginning that this is a project that is funded by the Department of Science and Technology. Now, any research project needs to have research questions. So what are the questions we are trying to answer through this research undertaking? The first research question really has to do with what features best frame science learning and encourage re-engagement with content over time. So it's not enough for us that students use the game once and then never again. We would like students to come back to show that they have been hooked and they have been engaged. So we are interested in interest. Okay, how do we cultivate interest? That is, after all, the title of the project. How do we cultivate interest in STEM? Then the second question is what pedagogical strategies are most effective in promoting STEM interest and learning? Whimsy poses several quests or tasks. We ask which of these are most effective in getting the students interested. The third question has to do with technology infrastructure. We ask how a technology infrastructure can be used to monitor and track changes in STEM interest over time. What we're hoping will happen is that students will use Whimsy repeatedly, and that we will be able to see whether student engagement increases or decreases as they continue to use the system. So this is where the data mining infrastructure, the data capture becomes essential. Okay. ALLS is working together with 3 partner schools for the duration of this study. Each partner school has nominated 2 teacher participants who are tasked to identify areas in the school curriculum where Whimsy may be integrated. Second, they're asked to develop and implement actual, sorry about that. The second goal for the teachers, the second task assigned to the teachers is to develop and implement in actual classes at least 2 lesson plans that make use of the Whimsy worlds. They are asked to revise the lesson plans based on student feedback and or evaluation. And finally, we are asking them to conduct surveys or interviews with participants. Of course, we ask them to provide us with copies of the lesson plans, and we will be a part of the data collection and the analysis of the surveys and interviews that they conduct with their students. What are the research activities specifically? We begin with the partner teachers drafting the lesson plans. So this is actually where the project is now. Then, in parallel, sometime in June and July, we're going to actually try to conduct user experience testing with Filipino students. So the user experience testing is not yet related to the lesson plans. The user experience testing simply asks students to use the server and help us identify possible stumbling blocks. Is there anything about the worlds that they don't understand? Are there quests that they cannot figure out? Do they get trapped in certain parts of the game and which render them unable to progress? So we're trying to find those types of pitfalls before we actually take Whimsy to the Filipino classroom. So we're trying to debug those things, if you like. When we find these user experience problems, we will take them to the UI/UC team, and we will ask them to make modifications. So hopefully, by the time the teachers are ready with their lesson plans, the Whimsy worlds will be relatively error-free. We will have a dry run of the lesson plans, which is again going to be internal. We won't be using actual students just yet. Then we will do a finalization of the lesson plans by the partner teachers, and then we will actually, it's only at this point that we will take the lesson plans to the classroom for the teachers to pilot. Aside from using the current version of Whimsy, I should say the current version of Whimsy is implemented on Minecraft Java Edition. Okay, now why Java Edition, you might ask? It's really because much of the worlds are customized. For example, gravity on the moon is different from gravity on Earth. And the way the UI/UC team implemented gravity on the moon reflects how gravity really is on the moon. So you are lighter. As you know, the gravity on the moon is less than that of the gravity on Earth. So if you jump on the moon, you actually jump much higher and you go much farther. So it was necessary for the UI/UC Whimsy team to program some of these special features from scratch, and they could only do that on the Java edition at the time that they started. Now, in parallel to all this work that we're doing with teachers and deployment in the classrooms and so on, we are also trying to implement Whimsy on Minecraft Education Edition. So this is a different edition from the Java edition. We are working with some of our computer science seniors. There are 5 of them in total. Okay, wait, let me back up a little. Why you might ask, bother with Minecraft Education Edition when there is already Whimsy on the Java edition? Minecraft Education Edition is free if you have a Microsoft 360 license. So if your computer already has Microsoft 360, then you can get Minecraft Education Edition for free. Java Edition, on the other hand, you have to pay for. It's about $26, which for some people can be quite a lot of money. So we wanted to create an alternative. If you already have Microsoft 360 and you can get Minecraft Educational Edition for free, then you don't have to buy Java Edition. You can still use Whimsy. So we wanted to eliminate a barrier to using the worlds. This is also part of our sustainability plan. We have a limited time period in this grant. The grant is good for 2 years. After the 2 years, we don't know how we're going to maintain the Java server. So the Education Edition for sure will live on. Yeah. And then I mentioned earlier that we are working with 5 computer science students of the Ateneo. there are only 4 of them in the picture. I apologize, we're missing a 5th. The 5 of them are actually handling the migration or the replication of Whimsy for, as their thesis. So this is actually their 4th year thesis. Now, if you have any interest at all in collaborating with us, we are more than happy to talk to you. There are many ways that you can collaborate. You can create lesson plans if you like. You can also use our Whimsy server for free. This is this particular link, whimsybeastmc.com, is the link. Sorry. The link that we have here, Whimsy Beast MC, is the link to the server of UIUC. Eventually, we'll make a link available to our local server. That just about ends my presentation. Before I go, I'd like to thank the DOST's, the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development, who has been very generous with us and has believed in us enough to give us this grant. Thank you very much for your attention, and we hope that you found this presentation interesting.